welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I've got some updates to end off the week for you, end off the weekend for you, and it's pretty cool. And this is some of the stuff that actually happened a few days earlier, but here we go. The first topic I want to talk about is about Netflix, Army of the Dead. So the Ikorodu boys, I hope I said that right, did a remake of the Army of the Dead trailer, and they showed it to Zack Snyder for his take on it. Not going to play the whole thing so you can actually see it, but they did some amazing stuff here, absolutely, taking almost the same shots, funny things like they used a dog instead of a lion, stuff like that, and not lion, but tiger, and it's great. And it's great to see his interaction with them, talking to them, praising them, and things like that. That's really awesome. That's such an awesome thing that can be done for these guys. And congratulations to the Ikorodu boys. That's fantastic work. And yeah, like, those shots are good. I can't wait for them to make real like movies. Definitely actual movies, not just remaking trailers. I think they have the potential to actually make some movies, and it's kind of cool because they're like learning about shots and how it looks and how it's filmed and so on and so forth by remaking trailers. And I think that is a great way to learn how to make film. And I thought that was an incredible job. So it's great to see Zack Snyder give a little bit of praise right there. So that's awesome. Talking about Netflix, this came up. Coming from the film updates, Netflix film chief Scott Stuber reveals that they've had conversations with Christopher Nolan. We've spoken quite a bit, and global distribution in cinemas is still something he wants deeply. If we can't provide that, it'll still be an issue for him. Of course, Christopher Nolan wasn't happy with Warner Brothers because of the whole straight to streaming the same day premiere. He is a huge movie theater buff, and he wants the distribution absolutely to go to cinemas. But the fact that he's actually talking to Netflix a lot is interesting. I mean, there was rumors that he wanted to walk away, he wanted to leave Warner Brothers and stuff like that, take his movies elsewhere, and this could be part of that as well, as he's literally seeing that Netflix is working well with directors, giving the visions back to the directors, giving the power back to the directors, including his very own friend Zack Snyder. He's seeing that how they're treating Zack Snyder. They're absolutely giving everything that he needs, giving the money he needs and the budget and whatever he needs to do creatively to make Army of the Dead. Christopher Nolan is probably like, I think this is a good, would be a match made in heaven. But, we still got to get through with getting me a cinematic experience for all my movies, even though this is Netflix, right? So I don't know how they're going to work that out or what they're going to do with that, but they're still having conversations. And it seems like it hasn't died down or anything like that. They've talked a lot, and so it's great to see. So, but it's another thing that Warner Brothers, man, if they lose Christopher Nolan, man, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be pretty crazy if they lost Christopher Nolan. All right, well, let's talk about a movie that did come out. Not that. Mortal Kombat. Where is it? Mortal Kombat writer Greg Russo reveals storyline for Trilogy plans. And I'm going to go down to the part where he talked about it. Everybody was focused on movie 1, right? You don't get a trilogy without it, Russo explains. But as a writer, you should never be painting yourself in a corner. That's my motto. You should always be thinking about where can your story go even beyond the 2 hours. This is not a lot of time that I have to tell this story. Where else can it go? So I always saw it as leading up to something bigger. And so the idea then became, all right, we have a certain amount of characters we can fit. Don't have the luxury of having individual movies of all these characters. I'm getting thrown right into Avengers mode, which is fun and a challenge. But I knew that there were other characters I just couldn't get in and actually didn't even make sense to bring in yet for the story. So then it became a matter of, well, who's the big characters that we want to save? Because you also don't want to use everything. And it's almost kind of interesting because I know there was another headline that went out saying that they were trying to copy the MCU formula, which is actually they're doing it differently. They're copying Justice League formula. They're doing a Justice League movie before the individual characters. Movie one. So this is how the 3-act structure for the trilogy would have went. And it could still be, because I think it's actually pretty successful. Movie one, we were always kind of setting this up as, well, I was setting it up. It's basically in my head. I always saw movie one as pre-tournament. So that's what we got, the pre-tournament. Then movie two is hopefully tournament. Then movie three is post-tournament. So the idea was this was going to be a pre-tournament movie that would hopefully sow the seeds for the tournament, the final. And I guess maybe the post-tournament is like, they can't win through the tournament, so they're going to go on all-out war or something like that. I don't know. But that'd be interesting. I would love to see the Mortal Kombat trilogy. All right, let's get into the Peacemaker. John Cena is seen on set filming for the Suicide Squad HBO Max spin-off Peacemaker. It's just a really small little update. I guess he has a happy birthday. What is that? He has a happy birthday balloon. I don't know if he's wishing someone a happy birthday or it's his own birthday. But he's very bloody there. So you know that this Peacemaker HBO Max series is definitely going to be gory. It's going to be bloody. Pretty much what James Gunn would probably want in any of his movies or shows. So that's going to be crazy. All right, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in Atlanta going to the recording set for Black Adam. It's coming from DC Verso. This is probably as close as we get to photos from the movie set. So that's it. That's all we got. We got nothing else other than this shot right here of the set. He's going to the recording to film Black Adam. Though he did give a little insight about Black Adam. There's a whole bunch of stuff here, but I'm just going to this part where he says, yes, our goal for Black Adam was to create a real-life superhero villain physique and become the first actor who did not require padded muscle in their superhero costume. And so this is about that little article about, scene-ready physiques, right? And so that's kind of interesting because, absolutely, like every superhero movie, most of the time, even down to like Christopher Reeve and Brandon Routh, like Tobey Maguire and stuff. The issue was when you put on the suit, it runs over the I don't know what you call the indentions between the in between the muscles, and so you wouldn't have that. You don't want to be able to see your physique. So unless they've changed it in a way where they've molded his actual body, I think there will still be a problem. That's why they have these suits, not padding per se, but these suits that you can form fit so you can actually see the muscles. So the way he says it like that they're not gonna. It may sound like they're not gonna go that route. I don't know what it's gonna do. I mean, are you just gonna paint your skin? Imagine that, just a skin suit, like just his own skin, and just plain it black. Then it'll be like really, that's his muscle. There's nothing on it. That's him, right? Because even though you put like just a shirt, as you can see, a shirt right there, you still got those wrinkles. It goes over the indentions, right? So you would need something, and that's one of the things like Spider-Man, right? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. They had that issue where they needed form-fitting outfits, and so like Michael Wilkinson, he does that for Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League, right? So I'm really curious what would be The Rock's method for Black Adam. That's interesting. All right. Another person getting ready to shoot Aquaman 2, or in the process of maybe they're already doing it, I don't know. Alexa, play Pussy Talk by City Girls. I don't know, I think that's a song. Workout songs. Aquaman 2. Now, I don't know if we can get closer and look at all these, what's going on in the background here. But there's charts here, but Amber Heard is getting ready to shoot Aquaman 2, so she's working out for that movie. All right, now let's get into the final thing, where it's about a character that we should have gotten in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but because of the studio, we don't get to see it. Zack Snyder's Justice League Green Lantern actor Wayne T. Carr breaks silence after being cut from the film. Okay, so I see he was making the rounds. I think he went on Lightcast, and then he was on Dave the Film Junkie Show, and then he was also on Reno Anarchy. Thank you once again to Garza for bringing me in place of Ben's on vacation. But so thanks for that. So it's great to get to talk to a little bit to with Wayne T. Carr. But and I'm just gonna read this to you because I think this should really blow up more than it has. I think this issue should be much more out there, and I think more people should talk about it and write about it because this is important in my mind, right? At one point, the Justice League Snyder Cut was going to feature a Green Lantern in the present day joining the Justice League in its fight against Darkseid. Due to one reason or another, Zack Snyder was forced to cut the appearance from his director's cut, even though it was his director's cut. Even though it was supposed to be the full version of the movie he intended to tell, the filmmaker himself revealed the Green Lantern was going to be John Stewart, played by Wayne T. Carr. Now, for the first time since Snyder revealed his identity, Carr has opened up on his role in the movie, expressing excitement that Snyder even thought to ask him to play the character. As Carr explained on an episode of Lightcast, he knew from the beginning that his scene very well could be left on the cutting room floor. So he was very much aware that that would happen, and he's talked about this on all three shows, I believe. Zack said, "We're going to shoot it. We'll see what the studio says," the actor said on the podcast. "This is kind of crazy because we shot it in what I'm going to call driveway studios." That's pretty hilarious. He called me after he showed it to everyone. I think it was the second time because they had watched it in parts. He was like, "They're not letting me do this thing. They're not letting me do this thing." On his own movie. Snyder previously explained the studio didn't want him to use John Stewart because of a separate Green Lantern project in development at HBO Max. A separate project, and he can't do his own Green Lantern. How weird is that, right? When I saw the full vision, I went through the journey like everybody went through the journey. Towards the end, I realized, I'm not a part of this. Darn, Carr added. The thing that kind of just warmed my heart was once all of the concept art and stuff started to drop, it's been nothing but love from the fans, man. Like, I wasn't even in the movie, and I'm just getting positive feedback from people and support. It's super crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but I love it. Snyder himself praised Carr's performance earlier this month, revealing the actor was referred to him by Justice League star Ray Fisher. That concept art was based on the actor who did the scene for us and was a guy named Wayne T. Carr. He's an amazing actor and an amazingly kind gentleman, Snyder revealed during a virtual appearance at JusticeCon. He added, "I told him that there was a chance it didn't make it in the movie as we were shooting it in my driveway. I'm not 100% sure he thought it was real. I was talking to him the other day and he was just excited about it. He loved the movie and was super excited for the reception the film has gotten, and he's just completely gracious." And of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League is now streaming on HBO Max, so please check that out. But I mean, there you have it, right? I mean, that was... He had a scene, and not only just a obscure character. I mean, this is Green Lantern, and not any Green Lantern. It's my boy John Stewart. We would have gotten John Stewart. Wayne T. Carr is DCEU's first John Stewart. In fact, you can probably say, I know there was the other Green Lanterns that died in DCU, but Kilowog and the other guy, but basically the first Green Lantern essentially, and it was going to be John Stewart, and Wayne T. Carr was going to play him, and that is absolutely something that we should see. They should release that Green Lantern scene. Why hold on to it? Like, why? Why tell Snyder says you can't release it? You can't shoot that. Why? Are you that worried that this one little, and I'm guessing if it's the same length as the Martian Manhunter, I was like maybe a minute? A little bit, just a little bit, a few lines even. That would just trample and disregard your other Green Lantern series that is in development that has nothing to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League whatsoever? Like, how do you not have faith in your Green Lantern project that you think that this would get in the way of that? That doesn't make sense. What was that all that multiverse talk all about? That's bullshit, right? That's bullshit. I think I'm even more I'm actually maybe more sad and angry at the same time that, you know, Wayne T. Carr, I mean, he said he's been in a movie with Denzel Washington. That's awesome. But by the way, I would love to meet Denzel Washington. But like, he's able to, you know, has a chance, just like Ray Fisher had a chance. Ray Porter has a chance. Wayne T. Carr was gonna get a chance to be in this be a part of this big superhero movie experience, right? Big time. John Stewart, man. John Stewart, man. That's huge. That's huge. You're pretty much up there with Superman. Just come on. This was his time. And they took it from them. They took it. Warner Brothers did that because they didn't have faith in their own Green Lantern project. They think that, look, it's kind of weird because if they think Zack Snyder is that good at making Darkseid and Steppenwolf, and that's why they said, oh, we can't do a New Gods. We can't do a New Gods. Well, what does that mean? Then if you have that mindset that Zack Snyder is that good, that he's making John Stewart, he's making New Gods and stuff, wouldn't that give you the idea that says, okay, for anybody else, they would say, if they have that mindset, that means they should continue that verse, right? They should continue that universe. If they think he's so good that they're not capable to be better than what he puts out. So instead of putting out their own stuff like New Gods, because Zack Snyder put out the Darkseid stuff, they're telling him, don't put out John Stewart because we want to put out John Stewart. And in a way, they're saying that Zack's John Stewart, even though it's like probably less than a minute, is going to blow our John Stewart that is going to be an entire series. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? I don't know whether to call them like inept or cowards or just stupid. I don't know. Hypocritical, probably. But it just feels so bad. And I know this happens in Hollywood lots of times, but when you finally hear about it, you're like, man, he had it right there. He shot it. He's right there. There was an opportunity right there. And it's called the director's cut, for crying out loud. It was the Snyder cut. If they weren't going to continue, if they were calling this a cul-de-sac, this would have been the best opportunity to say, hey, let's just end it right there. That's it. Let's just stop it right there. Let's not do any more, but give it all you got. This is your chance, Zack. You want to throw out all your bullets. This is your chance. Bring out, fire all your bullets because we're saying that we're not going to continue your universe, so you might as well just give it all you've got. No, instead they stop him. They says, well, don't give it all you got. This is but we're not going to continue. But at the same time, you can't make it like it would actually end as well. It's like it doesn't. There's only 2 more movies to this thing. And even if we were going to continue, why didn't you just let him throw whatever Snydery stuff he wanted to put in there? What are you they are absolutely afraid of something. I'm going to bring up Stephen Colbert's tweet. Not Colbert, but Colbert's tweet. I like this one. Stephen says, the irony is I imagine the only way to truly make Restore Snyderverse go away is to just finish the story. Then you can have a clean break without the forever looming what if of the Snyderverse and all the drama that comes with it. Besides, there's plenty of roadblocks. If you try and Zack says no, or Affleck says no, or whatever, then you can say, we tried to restore Snyderverse, but it's simply not possible. Take this graphic novel animated version instead, and then finally, properly wash your hands of it. The Snyder Cut was 6 chapters, but was almost 4 episodes. JL 2 and 3 were originally one movie split into 2, so there's an easy 8 to 12 episodes to wrap it all up if they want to restore Snyderverse that way. The reason the whole scenario is an issue is the studio said opening weekend no more, when fans would have been a lot more receptive to, we tried to restore the Snyderverse, but it just didn't work out. Zack and the cast have moved on, and we have other stuff coming. Yeah, this is absolutely at this point in time, it might be better for you guys to just say, let's just finish it off. What are we afraid of? Let's just have, because our movies are still coming out. Let the fans decide which DC they want to do. Right? But at the same time, why not just profit from one version and see if your version works out? Why not? This is the multiverse, isn't it? Isn't this the multiverse? Why not? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Seriously. All right, well, let's get into the members' comments and questions now. Talvebe, I figured they would do that. I think we need to stop buying into Warner Brothers and their dishonest bullshit. We need to stop wasting money on Warner Brothers. I know I am. After this month, I'm done with HBO Max and anything Warner Brothers associated with. Deadline dropped last year the news that Chris Evans is returning indeed. Interestingly, they also say his project might be separate from Captain 4. Yeah, someone said that as well. But, yeah, look at that. They're getting more Captain America. To anyone who loves Zack Snyder's Justice League, do not buy it on YouTube. The compression is atrocious. Either get it on UHD, Blu-ray, or the next best thing, Apple TV or Prime. Yeah, I'm not going to get it on YouTube. I don't like it, even though I'm on YouTube. But, like, in terms of movies. So I'm definitely going to wait until the steel box to get it. Yeah, I'd say that about Marvel Studios. It was with Black Widow, which someone else mentioned yesterday, I believe, where a female director was in the running and was told not to worry about the action. It would all be done before she got there. Yeah, that's kind of a reason I believe why Edgar Wright left Ant. Yeah, and you know, Scott, what's his name? He was going to be Doctor Strange before it went to Sam Raimi. He was Scott Derrickson also left as well for creative differences. Can AT&T rip DC from Warner Bros. And make it a separate studio? I wish they would, man. I really wish they would. I wish they would. Like, I wish to wake up one morning and the Hollywood Reporter says AT&T has brought up a new studio with for just to make DC films, and Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada will not be overseeing any DC films. That would be great. That would be awesome. I was excited for Mortal Kombat, but it fell flat. Nothing to be excited about at all. Always never. Warner Bros. Is getting to be just as bad as Fox. Stay the fuck out of the editing bay and let scenes breathe, damn it. And stop cutting directors' visions. Kung Lao was amazing. Probably the standout for me. Overall, I prefer the MK cinematics in the games. They just have more emotional impact when you need it. And of course, restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, I love the cinematics. At least in the games I've played, like 9. But some of them, like Injustice, I would just like watch the movie. I don't even have time to play the game. Just type of Mortal Kombat movie. Cinematics, and they just string it all together for you on YouTube. In reference to Mortal Kombat, maybe Wally Hamm was trying his hand at editing. I've been a Detective Comics fan for 55 years, some good and some fantastic. DC always had the better audience back in the 60s, 70s, and I guess you want to say 80s after that. I don't think these movies are any worse than the ones y'all love. I think we've just become more aware and sensitive to what goes behind the scenes and how movies are made now, while the movies from decades ago are protected by nostalgia. That's true. And you know what? Maybe with young eyes, I don't see the editing. Like if I had young eyes, I'd be like, I don't. Oh, this is great. I just want to get to the fight. You know, so it definitely may come with experience. If the editing mistake you mentioned between Cole and Sonya is what I'm thinking, he was just seeing another vision of Hanzo. No, it's really quick. And I don't know if it's still there. They may have done it, but I remember seeing it where he helps her up and it's just like chop chop, and it was like, what? What happened there? Restore the Mortal Kombat cut. Restore the Snyderverse. Hey Chris, so is Sarah Aubrey, the exec who said that Zack Snyder's Justice League already proved profitable, etc., still in her position of authority? She is on making series, episodics. Yeah, so she's like, I guess you could call her the Toby Emmerich to Casey Bloys. So if so, that is a very good sign, and her observations are a perfect key to helping ensure a sequel in some fashion. Add to this, movies no longer appearing on HBO Max simultaneously with the theatrical release. When is that change happening, by the way? HBO Max obviously needs its Mandalorian to keep those big numbers, and Zack Snyder's Justice League proved profitable long before its release. Well, there is certainly hope going into the investor meeting that actually deals with future projects. What do you think? Well, I don't know. You know, I think, like you said, if they're not doing that, they're gonna want new properties, that new content that they won't need to rely on the theaters, you know, theatrical, same day streaming. So hopefully, but I'm still like wary because, you know, Ann Sarnoff is also the head of all that. So, but I don't know. There was some type of Warner Media upfront thing that was coming up soon, and I didn't get a chance to really read on about it. But once I know more, I think it's in May, so that may be another good, time to trend some stuff. By the way, today trended Restore Snyderverse to like almost 300,000. No, it was like almost 500,000 K. So congratulations to everyone there. I just watched all of them back to back. It's not even close. Anyone saying 95 is speaking purely from nostalgia, not any objective place. Only place 95 excels is the iconic dance track. It doesn't take itself seriously or try to make that much sense. 21, on the other hand, tries to make more sense. All things being relative concerning this silly source material, like what Power Rangers 2017 did for MMPR. And I love Power Rangers 2017. I think that's a great Power Rangers movie. But it's okay. I mean, you can't discount people for saying 95 is better. Movies are subjective. So I don't call anybody crazy for saying they like this or not, but I absolutely love 95 more than 2021. The old one had better music, was darker. It was darker. The new one had better fighting and gore. No. I immediately watched the 95 version after watching MK. This movie is somewhere between the 80s action movie with its dialogue and a serviceable fan film at best. Just because you throw in a family member doesn't mean you empathize with the character. You empathize with Liu Kang in the 95 movie because he was driven by guilt. Sonya was driven by revenge, and Cage with ego. Some of the choreography I liked, still not as good or nor shot as well as 95, and Kano McGregor was the most charismatic character which saved the movie. If this movie gets a sequel, F you, Warner Brothers. Restore Snyderverse. If you're a fan of the movie, I'm so sorry to be brutal. Hey, it's MK, and maybe there's a better version of out there knowing Warner Brothers. Sorry for the lengthy comment. No problem, man. That's just perfect. That's a perfect comment right there. Ben Everett, same time, bud. Yeah, thanks, man, and thanks for the other, video talking about how to bring in somebody else. If I ever would do, I'm not really, the kind of person that invites people to stream a lot. I think because it's timing, and I like to keep my videos as short as possible. But but I know one day I'm probably gonna need that tool. So thanks, Ben. Everything apart from what we actually want. Warner Bros. With that said, I do like Black Canary, so I'm definitely interested to see it. Yeah, I decided to do it. I was planning on the editorial for Black Canary, but it's interesting to see like not a lot of people were interested in that. It does go to show you what people are interested. At least my fans for this channel, my followers, they want to see more Snyder stuff. Not that, but it was something that was going around, and and I know in the video, like when I looked up, like the max amount of like trending for tweets was only 10K, you know. So obviously 1.5 million for Restore Snyderverse is just way off the charts in terms of that. But if the rumors are true and they really are talking about Black Canary behind the scenes, then I'm like, really? 10,000? 1.5 million. 10,000. 1. You'd rather go with the 10,000. Okay. Jeez. Black Canary series over a Batman versus Deathstroke or Superman sequel. They're running DC to the ground by ignoring majority customers. And you know what? It may be the cheapest way to go. I can certainly see Black Canary being very low budget. You know, very low budget. Dude, come on. How does 2021 get more votes? That's why movie quality is slipping. Fans don't know what they want anymore. Crazy. 1995 one was actually created out of aesthetic appreciation. 2021 was purely a cash grab. The only thing 2021 did better was represent multiple nationalities better. They both have their things, but you know, I still go back to 95. For a split second, I thought heaven has answered our prayers and Warner was finally starting to listen to fans. I guess not. Well, Justin Lowe. Hey Chris, I had some thoughts I want to run by you. I really want to restore Snyderverse with everyone else, but I think the fan base needs to shift gears a bit. It's pretty disheartening that Warner Bros. HBO Max used this fan base as free advertisement only to turn around and treat us as toxic. And maybe to some people's eyes, the Snyder fan base is entitled even though we know we just want the story they originally laid out for us. I think if we shift back to the Justice League 2, that we remove the bias around our fan base while also creating a false narrative that a sequel is coming. The fact is we won't get another JL movie for several years if we don't get a sequel to Zack. And I also think that with the fan base still mobilized, that maybe we should be backing the ideas of artistic integrity and art over runtime. I'm not going to pretend like this is a new phenomenon of movies getting cut down, but I think fans are really over it. These studios are ruining their own IP with underdeveloped ideas. I know people like myself are far more interesting in series because anything they throw too much shit at the wall. The people just want good plot, lore, character development over action, but give us the action still. Yeah. No, we still love action. Don't get us wrong. But, you know, as I've come to realize, like, as I'm getting older, you know, I'm 40 next year. But, like I tend to want to see drama and movies, and like I sometimes pass on just pure action movies sometimes, unless it's a cool genre, you know, genre in terms of that. But I do get that sometimes, and I'm like, is it because I'm getting older? Like I've watched Spotlight many times, like I have it in the background just to hear Spotlight, and just, you know, hearing Michael Keaton and Mark Ruffalo trying to get down to business, and in Boston and stuff like this. I feel like I enjoy that better. So it may be a thing, you know, people's, you know, like 2021, younger eyes may see that much better and stuff like that than my own nostalgia or something like that. And that's fine. That's cool. Everybody has their own viewpoint, and they can definitely champion their own viewpoint and fight for it as much as you want. Absolutely. But yeah, we definitely did go out of our way to just, and that was really for the Snyder Cut. And we knew, you know, that, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think that there is still hope. Honestly, there's still hope. And I put that little video out today, by the way. It's a shorts video, so hopefully it gets on a short shelf, because I want more people to feel a little bit more, have a little more faith. I'm not saying it's going to be a right away thing, but hey, I mean, I feel like we're at a point where it's the same thing as the Snyder Cut. The Warner Brothers didn't want it. They didn't want it disregarded and stuff like that. And they are right now, you know, going with the plan they have. But imagine if that plan that they have, like, there are more misses than hits, right? What would that say? What would happen with that? And if we constantly, I mean, we're just constantly bringing up Restore Snyderverse, like today, 500,000 tweets today, and added to the 1.5 million tweets this month. that is some type of noise that, as a company, you start to be like, I don't think we can get past this. I don't think this can be over. Like Stephen Colbert says, why not just do it? Why not just get it out there? This is what you wanted. Let's see how it works. Let's see how it's done. Get it out there and then move on. Because at this point, they are trying to move on, but they are failing at it. Because the more they seem to want to push it away, the more it seems like the fans, the consumers, the customers out there, like today, I don't think it was planned at all. There was no restored Snyderverse training. Everybody, I didn't even know. It just went out. So I said, I'm going to participate. And it's just, to get that much, it's not just a few dozen people or hundreds, thousands of people. It's a lot, hundreds of thousands, and that is a customer base that any company would be pretty happy to have, to say, okay, you want something. I know I can have a product that I know people will have already bought into. That's a guaranteed moneymaker right there. That's a guarantee. Don't let any bloggers or reports, anything, tell you different. We know for a fact AT&T showed it to the investors. Us, if you own shares. Us, the investors, right? For a public traded company. That Zack Snyder's Justice League was one of the proponents of the success of HBO Max. They admitted that. They admitted to it. AT&T did. Don't let any other bloggers and newspapers. Those are actual those are actual statistics from the investors' earning, right? Their earnings day. So absolutely, I think just like how Zack Snyder told me back in was it 2018? I don't even know what year it was already when we had that SnyderCon. Keep up the pressure. Keep up the pressure. Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for today. Wondering how this week's gonna go. Hopefully, I have a video tomorrow. I'm getting my second shot, my Pfizer shot. So if I'm not on here, I'm probably sick. But hopefully I'm not. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment news and content, please click the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on. Hopefully you get some t-shirts down below, and I'll see you next time.